The second thing that leaders have, and we often take it for granted because they seem to be able to stand in the face of huge, huge resistance, people tearing them down, gossip, things happening that really, really other people would take them out of the game. And we call that trait in leaders emotional resilience. Now, saying that you should be emotionally resilient as a leader is way easier said than done. So I am going to give you just one short practice to play with now. So do you want to increase your emotional resilience? Then you have to become a master at reframing. And reframing is actually not a trick. It's actually training your mind to look at something from a different perspective. And so one of the things that I always love to tell the story of reframing around a huge auto accident that happened to my family. And so my father had just passed away, and my sweet husband had taken my children to the pool, and he had put me to bed. I was exhausted. We'd just gotten back from the funeral. You know, I had just fallen asleep, and I hear a pounding on the door, and it's a neighbor telling me that my family's been in a horrible auto accident. The police and the ambulance are there. So I run out there, and I show up. The vehicle's totaled. I can't see my family. You know, this other person hit him head on. It was a really, really traumatic thing. You know, I did finally find my family. Yes, there were some injuries. Yes, there was all this stuff to take care of. It was very stressful. I mean, as you can imagine, just even having to deal with that right after you buried your own father, you know, I could really have a negative story about that whole situation. But because I know about reframing, as soon as I felt myself going there, and even the weeks after when I had to take my child to physical therapy, and, you know, we had to deal with the insurance, and, you know, people weren't feeling good, and there's all sorts of other stuff that came up, I did reframing. And one of the things I reframed immediately was what I said about the accident to people. And I said to myself, as soon as I got past this and I noticed I was going into that really negative headspace, what I said to myself was, the best moment of that whole thing was walking up to the accident scene, seeing the car, and then seeing my whole family alive, safe, standing together. You know, no one was in the ambulance, no one was bloody. You know, like my Honda Odyssey had survived a really huge accident and completely protected my family. And I kissed that car before they towed it off. I, blessed Honda. I shared with people how much joy it brought me to see my family was okay and how grateful I was. That's an example of reframing. And you can do that for any negative situation that has ever happened to you in your life. You can literally rewrite it from the point of view of everything amazing that happened out of it. And that will help you develop emotional resilience, because people are going to be critical of you. People may shoot holes in your idea. People may actually attack you. And being able to be emotionally resilient is what will ensure that you keep going in the face of resistance and crazy circumstances and anything else life might throw at you.